Hey everyone, this is Karma. So, right now we are on the threshold of some pretty emotional, edgy type stuff. Like, this is definitely a very difficult energy for America. This is the USA's chart. We have the moon squaring Pluto. Anytime I have this in my own daily transits, I'm like, oh god, it's going to be an intense one. So, moon squaring Pluto is an intense transit. It's a short transit, so it doesn't last because the moon transits like each sign every 2 to 3 days. But we're dealing with power struggles, and Pluto's in Aquarius, so it is about recognizing when there's authoritarian issues that must be dealt with as the collective. We're seeing that in Minneapolis right now, but I mean, this has been happening for a very long time. I can even remember growing up in California during the Rodney King riots, and they were rioting for good reason, because if you saw the video of what happened to Rodney King, you would understand. But this is, I digress, but this is a threshold moment that we are experiencing as a country. I've been talking about this for the last year. We're going to have Neptune and Saturn making their way into Aries in the next few weeks. And that is quite profound, because Aries is, a lot more intense than Pisces. Pisces is more delusional and artistic and empathetic. Aries is like, all right, I want it now, and if you don't give it to me, I'm gonna take it. Like, it's like that kind of like intensity and raw energy. The moon is also squaring Mercury, so this is a lot of miscommunication going on right now. We're getting miscommunication and pretty much being lied to by our so-called leadership, but that's nothing new for us as Americans. We do have Mercury and Venus trine Uranus, so anytime Uranus is involved, this is like technology, but it's also like voices that have been silenced being able to rise up and speak, and for things to actually be touched on that are uncomfortable. Watching the video of that young man yesterday was terrifying. But again, this has been happening, especially to minorities, for a long, long time. And imagine what they're doing in those detention centers where we can't video and we can't see what's happening. It disturbs me on a very deep level. So if we're going to talk about Minneapolis, I do feel like this is a part of a karmic wave that's hitting the country. This is not the only state that is going to be retaliated against. I think all blue states are going to be retaliated against at some point. We are definitely in a pressure cooker. Jupiter is squaring Chiron, so the pain is like boiling over. Remember, Jupiter expands whatever it touches, and Chiron is our wounding. And together, that is like our wounds being overtly exposed. Remember, this is for the country, this is the country's chart. So we're looking at how the planetary energy is affecting the United States in particular. But right now, the United States, like, our wounds are on display for everyone, and it's being exasperated by everything that's happening. So it's a lot. The bigger picture, though, like I said, Neptune and Saturn are going to leave Pisces and enter Aries. Neptune will never be in Pisces again in most of our lifetimes. Saturn might be. What's been foggy in our country and in our society is no longer going to be avoided. I do feel like Aries does have the WAR energy, but also Uranus and Gemini, that correlates with the Civil War. So I mean, there's a lot of intensity that is like on the brink. I mean, we're already experiencing it, but I don't think we're at the climax yet. So be careful this weekend. I do anticipate more unalivings. I don't know. If I didn't have my animals and my mom, I definitely would have a lot less to lose. But I think at the end of the day, take care of yourself, prepare. I mean, some of the things that I've done is, I have ammo. I never thought I would even be someone to do that or have that, but I think we're at that point, you guys. You need to create some sense of community, even though I live in a very bigoted neighborhood. I do live in a blue state, thankfully, so I do have some support here, and I do have some allies that I would consider people that I would trust as neighbors. But it's a scary time, especially if you're a minority. So please be safe. No matter what, do not go to a second location ever, 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 ever. Once you go to that second location, your chances of survival are are quite diminished. So, and also, I mean, as a millennial, I never answer the door anyways. I barely answer my phone. So I just would not put yourself in situations that, at least this weekend in particular, where you could be facing off with authority and just overly emotional situations this weekend in particular. I do believe something is going to be exposed, especially as we get closer to this eclipse at 28 degrees on February 17th. It will be in Aquarius, and it will be conjunct Pluto, the great transformer. So I feel like secrets are going to come out. But remember, with eclipses, so pay attention, because February 17th, 6 months forward, we're going to see quite a bit of change. Remember, Aquarius is like the humanitarians that hate humans. I always laugh when I say that, because I do think Aquariuses have high ideals. But conjunct Pluto and at a new moon eclipse, like, there's going to be a new revolutionary. I feel like he's going to step down. Or let me be more clear, I feel like he's going to be forced to step down. I still don't feel that he won, and I feel that that's still brewing behind the scenes. Right now, he has Jupiter in his 12th house, so that is a lucky transit. I guess JD would also have that because they're both Leo ascendants. But when Jupiter moves into his first house in Leo this summer, it's going to be expansive. But sometimes Jupiter can be too much. And the thing about T is he has Saturn in the 12th house. He also has Mars on his ascendant. You know who else has Mars on the ascendant? Marie Antoinette. And if you think about Mars being ruled by the head, it didn't work out very well for her. P. Diddy also has Mars on the ascendant. So, yeah, I think there's going to be a lot going on. Please just protect yourself and look out for each other, you guys. Like, you know, right now it's about doing the right thing. And I just think that all of us are going to be put in a lot of situations that are going to really force us to decide and draw a line in the sand. So again, you guys, I would stay in this weekend. Please be safe out there. These are not police officers. These are Proud Boys.